Okay, Des, there's a new study out today which may explain all of the problems we are currently having in this country. Conservatives, particularly those with college educations, have become dramatically more skeptical of science over the past 4 decades, according to a new study in the American Sociological Review. It finds that fewer than 35% of self-identified conservatives say they have a, quote, great deal of trust in the scientific community now, compared to nearly half back in 1974. The study's author says the growing distrust of science is entirely focused in 2 groups: conservatives and people who frequently attend church.
And are you really surprised?
No, I'm not, but it's nice to see it in an official study. What do you have for us today, Des?
President Obama weighed in on the fight of whether to repeal oil industry subsidies, speaking in the White House Rose Garden on Thursday morning, in advance of a vote in the U.S. Senate.
They can either vote to spend billions of dollars more in oil subsidies that keep us trapped in the past, or they can vote to end these taxpayer subsidies that aren't needed to boost oil production so that we can invest in the future.
But in spite of the president's words, minutes later,
the motion is not agreed to.
Big Oil won in the Senate again. Like all other attempts to repeal oil industry subsidies previously, the measure failed to reach the supermajority of 60 votes required to beat a Republican filibuster. The vote was 51-47, with 4 Democrats voting with the Republicans: Mary Landrieu of Louisiana, Ben Nelson of Nebraska, Mark Begich of Alaska, and Jim Webb of Virginia.
Any Republicans voting with the Democrats to end oil subsidies?
Yes, the 2 Republican senators from Maine, the retiring Olympia Snowe and Susan Collins. Voting with Republicans against repealing the subsidies was Senator Rand Paul, who made it clear who he serves during debate on the Senate floor.
We as a society need to glorify those who make a profit. I would think you would want to say to the oil companies, what obstacles are there to you making more money?
Immediately after the vote, in a scathing rebuke on the Senate floor, Democratic Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill slammed the hypocrisy of congressional Republicans for gutting services for the 99% while voting to continue giving billions in taxpayer dollars to the oil companies.
How seriously can we take anybody that talks about debt reduction if they're not willing to pluck the low-hanging fruit of subsidies to a group of folks that, frankly, in Missouri, I guarantee you most people I represent would say they are the least deserving of extra help from the federal government right now?
88% of all oil and gas campaign contributions go to the Republican Party.